Morning if you're just joining the scope. I don't know if you can hear me okay. I forgot to bring my microphone, so I'm just using what's in the phone. It's a bit chilly this morning, but not too bad. It'll be alright when the sun comes out. I'm in Ashiya City. It's a small city not far from Osaka. It's about 20 minutes by train from Osaka and about 10 minutes from Kobe. It's quite a affluent area. Quite a few famous people live here or lived here. Harumi Murakami, the writer, grew up here when he was younger and came back a few times and wrote about it in a couple of his short stories. I'm just walking from home going into the city centre. I haven't done a scope for ages actually, probably about best part of a year. So apologies if it's not too polished. Oh, it's chilly. Yeah, I'll try and read your comments, so feel free to post away and ask questions. I'm quite often sharing other people's scopes, and I've got a website called therealjapan.com, so if you don't know it, please go and check it out and subscribe. I've also got a YouTube channel, but with the periscopes I often share other people's periscopes, and the things that I focus on tend to be the kind of off the beaten track stuff. So whilst if you're coming to Japan for the first time, is weed forbidden in Japan? I don't know actually. It's not something I do, but I would have thought so, because Japan's pretty strict on drugs and even medications. So yeah, I would think it's probably not permissible here. Yeah, I was saying the periscopes I normally share, if I'm not doing them myself, which isn't often, are usually from other people who are doing the similar sort of thing that I would do. So kind of off the beaten track stuff. I've got a friend called Brendan who goes on the name of Periscope. I think it's Maido, BD Joetsu, perhaps. He's from Joetsu in Niigata Prefecture. And drink liquor since. Yeah, alcohol's readily available actually. And it's probably one of the things that's kind of socially acceptable here in Japan, is to, especially if you're a salaryman, to get drunk and chill out a bit at the weekends or even weekday nights. If you travel back late on the train and in the evenings, you will see quite a lot of drunk people. It's not uncommon. So that's kind of one of their vices or outlets, if you like. So this is Ashiya City, for those just joining us. I'm in the suburb area. I'm just walking into the city. Do I get drunk? No, I don't drink much actually. I do drink. I like most things. I don't like whiskey much, to be honest, but I like wine and I like beers. But I drank a lot when I was younger as a teenager, so I got it out of my system then, so I don't drink much these days. I haven't got many vices. Yeah, brothels are strip coins in Japan, strip joints maybe. Yeah, again, it's not something I've got a lot of experience of, to be honest, but they are here. There are areas, sort of red light district areas, bars and places in the major cities, so they do exist. I don't know how common they are, to be honest. Weed? No, I already answered that one earlier. Somebody asked the same question. No, it's not popular here, I don't think. How long have I been in Japan? Well, I first came to Japan in 2000, and I've been coming, apart from 1 year, I've been back every year since, at least one time, sometimes two, sometimes three times. and as of last year, what I now do is split my time. My wife and I, who's Japanese, we split our time between Japan and the UK. Oh, you can never come here. Oh, no. Don't let the lack of weed put you off. You know, I'm sure you can source some somewhere. Yeah, so I've been coming here since 2000, and we now split our time between Japan and the UK, which is where I'm from. So what we tend to do is spend the winter months. I'm from England originally. We tend to spend our winter months, yeah, that's right, UK, in Japan, because they tend to be more mild, although at the moment you wouldn't think so, it's pretty chilly. And winters in the UK, particularly in England, are always grey, they're wet, they're cold, there's very little sunshine. I haven't moved away from England. I do love England, and in fact, the reason we've got the arrangement we currently have, which is we split our time between Japan and the UK, is because my wife and I both love England, aspects of England, but we also love Japan, so we're in the fortunate position of not having to choose between the two, and instead spend our time a few months in the UK and a few months in Japan each year. So yeah, kind of get the best of both worlds, as it were. I mean, there's things about the UK that I absolutely love and I hate at the same time, and the same to Japan really, although hate might be a strong word for stuff in Japan. You know, culturally it's very different. Any black people in Japan? Yeah, there are. There's just not many, and that's just because really there's not many foreigners in Japan. In terms of its homogeneity of population, if you like, its ethnicity, I think it's about 98% ethnic Japanese. So there's very few foreigners living in Japan. I think there's 126 million people living in Japan, and so, you know, less than 2% are non-Japanese. I think the biggest second nationality in Japan is Korean, and then possibly Chinese. There will be Mexicans and there are black people, there's just not many of them. Weirdest law that you think shouldn't be a law in Japan? Oh, that's a good one. Weirdest law? I'm not sure really. I don't know, I can't think of a good answer for that one. I'll come back to that. Yeah, although this is quite a wealthy city, the recession's kicked in here as well. Something that never would think would be against the law. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Are guns allowed if you've got a permit? Yes, they are. Yeah, although they're not very common. But again, it's they do have them in from Detroit. So yeah, fair enough. The guns are permitted, but you do need a license, and they're largely kept in rural areas, like they would be in other countries, like perhaps the UK. Although they do use them for recreation as well, but yeah, I think you do need a license. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I didn't bring my external mic, so I'm just using what's in the phone. What's your favourite food? Great, thanks for the confirmation. You can hear me, that's good. Yeah, favourite food. I don't dislike most Japanese food, but there's it's Monday already in Japan. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's Monday morning. A couple of things I really do like Japanese food wise are and I posted about this on Twitter and Facebook when I arrived here a few days back. But I had, the first thing I had to eat when I got here was yakisoba, which is kind of like sort of stir-fried noodles with vegetables and pork, and sort of sweet sticky sauce on it. That's really nice, and some bonito flakes, some seaweed sprinkled on top. I love that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you've never been to Japan before, you will find that the streets are fairly empty pretty much a lot of the time, unless you're in a city centre. The streets can be really quiet. I'm not sure why it is. Yeah, it is a wealthy neighbourhood. I'm in Ashiya City, which is actually the wealthiest city in Japan. Does Japan have censorship? Yeah, it does have censorship. It's kind of a bit of an odd one here, because things that would be censored here wouldn't be censored in other countries and vice versa. So, I mean, you can see some pretty unusual things on TV, but yeah, sort of their pornography is quite extreme sometimes, and they have, but then they use this sort of mosaic thing, like a digitisation over people's private parts. So so you can't see them, although you can see everything else that they're doing, which is a bit odd. That's an odd one. Two Mercedes-Benz. Oh yeah, so yeah, good point. Yeah, there's loads of expensive foreign cars here. You know, Ferraris, Maseratis, Jaguars, Mercedes, BMWs. There's loads of them here. As I say, it's a really wealthy place. That's the Takubin, the Neko delivery company. There's a lot of wealthy people there. Yeah, not all over Japan, but in this part of Japan there is. What do you do and your wife do for fun at night or in the weekends there? Well, we try to socialise, because we've got a lot of friends here. We like to socialise a lot when we come out. So we just meet up with friends, go for meals, drinks and bars, that sort of thing. I like music a lot. I like a lot of live music, so I always try to go to as many gigs as I can when I'm here, although there's not that many I can go to usually. I mean, there's a lot of gigs, but not to my tastes. But Osaka, which is 20 minutes away by train from here, that's a good place to go for gigs. Is that a Burger King coming up? Is that a Burger King? No, it's not a Burger King. Well, I'm not sure where you mean. Over there, perhaps. No, I've not been to Bangkok. On the right, that's the petrol station. Over there, that's actually a cleaners. It's a dry cleaning store. That's a train just going through there. Can you call for Chinese food delivery in Japan? Yeah, you can. Yeah. Food delivery. 168 for a gallon of gas, is it? Oh, right. 168. Yeah, I don't drive, so I'm not at all tuned to petrol prices here. That might be cheap. I wouldn't really have a clue, to be honest. Yeah, the classic joke about Chinese food. I think that's true as well. I don't eat Chinese food much. I think it's hard to get good quality Chinese food, although here in Japan you will get good quality Chinese food. Actually, the foreign food here is actually pretty good. Malls are, yeah, they are everywhere. Yeah, they definitely picked that up from the States. Shopping malls are everywhere here, and they're huge. And the other thing they have a lot of in Japan is they have a lot of underground stuff. So they have shopping malls that'll be 2 or 3 levels below ground, and they'll be sprawling, they'll be vast. Yeah, that's just a suburban train. I'm just going to show you this little cafe here. I don't know if any of you are Studio Ghibli or Miyazaki fans, but I love this place. It really looks like something out of a Studio Ghibli film. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a grass roof, and during the summer you can see people cutting the grass on the roof there. This is like a little bar and a cafe. Well, it's closed at the moment actually, which is unusual. But yeah, they've only got a tiny menu. Do you own a home in both countries? Do you work in both? Yeah, I work in both countries because I'm a blogger full time. So I've got a website called therealjapan.com. So if you don't know it, please go and check it out and maybe subscribe. But yeah, I was doing it as a hobby for a couple of years, and I decided to do it full time last year. So yeah, just over a year ago. So I've been doing it for just a year. Been bumping into a lot of things. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, if you could check out the site, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm not so tall. I don't know what it is in Simon Iggy is in Japan. Yeah, I don't know Simon, but I know Keizo, I know Keizo via Periscope. I'm hoping to meet up with Keizo in a couple of weeks actually, and I saw him meeting Simon at the airport, Kansai International. I arrived in there the day after Simon did, and I caught a little bit of one of Simon's scopes, but I know he's been travelling around a lot. But yeah, I don't know him. Yeah, Keizo's a really nice guy. No, actually, I don't drive. Neither my wife or I drive, so that's actually one of the things I quite like about blogging about, because you know, all these things are doable even if you don't drive. How close are you to Tokyo? Not close at all. I'm not sure how many miles it is, but it's going to be a good 800 miles I would have thought, maybe more. It's on the other side of the island really, not on the other side, but it's a fair old distance away. How do I make money from blogging? A few different revenue streams really. You can get some affiliate revenue by working with affiliate companies, so promoting products and services. I've got an ebook called How to Travel in Japan Without Speaking Japanese, which I sell on my website. You can get that, so I make some money from that. Yeah, there's a few ways. Tiny backroads car park. Yeah, I mean there are some, you can see here, there are some places to park off the street. Don't see any meters, parking meters. No, you don't see those anywhere actually. I've never thought about that. Yeah, you don't really see them. Yeah, you see a lot of people running to work who are running late. They're either really chilled out here or running around madly. Texas, hi Texas, that's cool, thanks for tuning in. Today glamorised kamikaze pilots in Japan, I know it's a weird question. I don't know, yeah, it's like a lot of countries, they sort of, I don't want to get too political, but they do kind of temporise to make anyone who was in the war as a hero sort of thing. And of course, whenever you're at war, you're never the bad guys, are you, I suppose. So yeah, that may be true. Nice gardens here. Land prices here are really expensive, so to have a big garden like these, some of these places do, is quite a luxury. Oh, there's someone trimming the tree there, which is quite nice. You see that a lot. I don't know if you can see that guy. I don't want to be rude and point at him, but yeah, thanks for joining everybody. I haven't done a scope in about a year. I don't really seem to get the time to do them really. I'm not sure why. I do shoot a lot of videos, well, quite a few videos. I've got a YouTube channel, which you can just go to YouTube and search for The Real Japan. That's my, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Pinterest and Twitter and Facebook and everything else, Instagram. I've got to go to a delivery place soon to drop off a parcel. I hired a Wi-Fi router and it wasn't working very well, so I've got a new one, and I've got to take that back and post it back. There you go, there's a Maserati over there. I know it's a Maserati because it's always parked there. Yeah, so for those just tuning in, I'm in the suburbs of a place called Ashiya City, which is the wealthiest city in Japan. I've got relatives in this area, although they're not super wealthy and they don't own a castle or anything, just an apartment, but it's a lovely place to be in Japan actually. We tend to use it as a base while we're here and we go travelling. In a few days time, in a couple of days time actually, my wife and I are going down to the Yaeyama Islands. If you've heard of Okinawa, it's on the southwestern island chain of Japan. The Yaeyama Islands are right at the very end, way beyond Okinawa. It's the very last point of Japan. and it's over 1,200 miles from Tokyo. So it's a long way from Tokyo. It's actually only, I think it's 69 miles to Taiwan. And here it's really cold at the moment. Well, I say really cold, it's around about 6, 7, 8, 9 degrees, something like that. Down in the Yama Islands it's going to be more like the mid-20s, I think, so it should be much more mild. Actually, I want to go this way. So yeah, we're going to go down there for a few days. I've never been there before. I've been to Okinawa, which was really nice, and it's kind of very different to what most people think of as Japan, because it's really, the climate there is subtropical, so there's palm trees everywhere, crystal clear seas. Oh, just got a load of messages come through. Please do more scopes. Okay, yeah, I'll do my best. Have I had breakfast, Jess? Yeah, I have had breakfast. I just had something Western, actually. I had some toast and an egg. That was it. Do kids go to school today? Yeah, they go to school every day. Yeah, I think possibly even including Saturdays. I'm not sure. Do a lot of walking. Yeah, I do actually. Do I prefer Japan or China on my? I can't say I prefer Japan or China because I've never been to China. I'm not particularly bothered about going to China, to be honest. Of all the neighbouring countries, I'd quite like to go to South Korea. Quite fancy that. Some friends of ours have been there a few times and really like it, so I'd quite like to go there. Cute little doggy there. Yeah, I want to go to. I want to go up here. I'm trying to. I've got a parcel I need to deliver, and I need to find a shop. So they only get at school on Sunday. Yeah, I think so. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but certainly 5 days a week. But I think possibly Saturdays. There's quite a strong culture of studying hard when you're at school in Japan here, and if you're at high school, it's quite common that students will study in the evenings as well at private schools. You just offended a big population in the world. Well, I haven't said anything. I just don't, you know, there's a lot of countries I want to go to. Yeah, this is Japan. Yeah, there's a lot of countries I want to go to ahead of China. I'm not saying I would never go, but life's short and there's only so many places you can go to. Walk around at night. Oh, yeah, actually, there are some sidewalks, but not a lot. Generally speaking, there aren't sidewalks like there are in the States, for example. Yeah, at night time it can get a bit confusing. In fact, I was coming back the other evening, and there's not a lot of street lighting, and in the quiet places, that is, in the suburbs. And it was really dark, and I wasn't sure where I was going. I got slightly off track, but I soon got back on track quickly, so that was all right. You're on the ball. Yeah, you're on the ball. So, yeah, I'm hoping, unless I've got it wrong, that there's a store here where I can return a parcel. If not, then it's behind me, back the other way. Yeah, I think I might have called this wrong, actually. Ah, it's not there, but I think it was. That looks like it's changed. Hey guys, in daylight saving time. They don't have that here in Japan, actually. Yeah, my wife's Japanese. Yeah, we were pen pals back in the day. That's people that write letters for you younger viewers. The internet did exist in those days, but yeah, I like writing letters, so we were pen pals, and that's how we originally met. We both travelled quite a lot. Thanks for joining. Yeah, oh, my hands are very cold. daylight saving times in Detroit, so it gets dark at 4 o'clock. Yeah, we have, I'm from England, and we have daylight saving time, although we call it British summertime back there. But although we have it in England, I don't think they have it in Scotland. Thanks for, yeah, you're welcome, Tamish. Thanks for coming by. Glad you're liking this. I'll try and do more when I'm here. We're here for until January, so I'll plan to try and do some more scopes. I haven't done any in ages. Not sure if that's a gallery or a restaurant. Oh, it looks like a gallery. Sorry, questions. Sorry if I'm missing your questions and not answering. I'm not getting them for some reason. Want to be my pen pal? I'd love to be a pen pal, but I just don't have the time these days, I'm afraid. Yeah, my wife is Japanese, yeah. Hi, thanks for tuning in to Chicago, great. I've never been to Chicago. Well, I've only been to America once actually, but I'd quite like to go to Chicago. Of all the places in America, there's of the cities, Chicago appeals to me quite a lot actually. Would you recommend I go there? Okay, so we're coming into, never been to Japan. Come if you can, please come. It's a fantastic country. Check out my website, therealjapan.com. Hello from Russia, thanks for tuning. Is it Russia? Russia. It's okay in summer. It's winter here in Japan, but in a couple of days we're going to be going down to the Yaeyama Islands, which are southwest of Japan, 1,200 miles from Tokyo. And down there it should be warm and sunny. I'm looking forward to that. I'm very chilly at the moment. Way different than Tokyo or Bangkok. Yeah, that's right, yeah. I mean, Osaka's only about 20 minutes from here by train, and that's really busy. Help from Hawaii. What time is it here? It's about, what is it, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So I'm in Ashiya City, and I'm just getting close to the city centre. I'm coming here to do some work. I'm a full-time blogger, so I'm coming here to work on my website, therealjapan.com. Do I have children? No, we don't have any children. Night time there. Oh, okay. I've just been to Bangkok. 100 people, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, there are lots of busy places in Japan, but again, like you see in sort of TVs and movies and that sort of stuff, it looks really busy in Japan, but it isn't. It depends where you are. There's 126 million people, but they're crammed into a very small part of the land here, because to their credit, the Japanese protect a lot of their land, and over 70% of Japan is covered in mountains and forests, and they just don't build on that land. So all the habitable areas are really the low-lying areas near the coastline. So all the major cities that you know and have heard of are going to be in low-lying areas and probably near the coast, like Tokyo, for example. So that's where they build all their property and accommodation and living areas. Hello from the UK, great. Thanks. I'm from the UK. I'm from England. So thanks for scope. Thanks for popping in on my scope. Some Christmas decorations. I'm just in a small shopping mall now, almost at my destination. Let's have a pop inside. Oh, just over here, it's closed at the moment, but just over there is a shiatsu place that I use. Is it hard for your children that you live in 2 countries? We don't have any children. Welcome. Thanks for coming in, Magic Storms. Yeah, we don't have any children, so that's why we can do this. You could do it with children, but it would be really hard. Well, maybe you couldn't do it with children. I don't know how you do it. Private tuition, maybe. Yeah, I hope this is good, guys. I haven't done a scope for about a year. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Thanks for coming in. That Chinese CFO. No, what was that? Got taken in for doing evil things. Oh, right. No, I didn't see that. If I had children, I might be sacrificing this lifestyle. Oh, I see what you're saying. Would I do? I guess if I really wanted children, but my wife and I don't really want children, so fortunately we don't have to make a sacrifice. Our house is expensive here. They can be, but they can also be cheap. My sister lives in France, and I've travelled in France a bit, and if you get into the rural areas, Japan is a bit like France in that nobody really wants to live in the rural areas anymore, so property in the rural areas is cheap. Hi from Amsterdam. Hi, thanks for tuning in, Marjan. Good to have you. Thanks for joining my scope. I'm going to be finishing soon, but yeah, I'm hoping to do some more scopes. Show us weird Japanese things. Well, what about that to begin with? That's a slightly unusual clock in the middle of town there. Unusual Japanese things. Stay tuned, maybe I will. I'll try and do some scopes from Osaka. There's going to be more opportunity to show you weird things there. Yeah, so I'm in Ashiya City at the moment. This is near the city centre. Well, this is the city centre. That's kind of the major shopping mall. Daimaru is a big department store, and just under there, under that canopy over there, is the entrance to the train station, the JR Ashiya train station. Yeah, I'm gonna probably sign off shortly. I'm just going to flip the camera high. So this is me. I'm Rob. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Yeah, I haven't done, as I say, I haven't done a scope for about a year, but I'm hoping to do more. I'm here until till January, so stay tuned. I've got please have a look at my website. It's therealjapan.com. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. Magical Storms, thanks Magical Storms. Glad you enjoyed the thing. Good hair, thanks. Cheers. I'll do my best with what I've got. Yeah, so please check out all my social media, but go to the website, The Real Japan. Colours look slightly dull. Oh, do they? Yeah, it's a bit overcast, that might be it. But I always use my screen in black and white, so I can never really see how good the colours are. Yeah, I'm going to finish shortly, but please check out my website, therealjapan.com. You can follow me on here, obviously, although I don't scope so much, but I do share. Good face, thank you, Walder Green. I do share scopes from people I follow who do similar stuff to me, which is, you know, kind of off the beaten track, everyday life kind of stuff. Not so much the major cities and tourist sites, but, you know, the real Japan sort of thing. I'm going to head over this way. Colours of buildings with that. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. They do have some bright colours, but the kind of urban architecture isn't that exciting usually. There's a bit of colour for you, some flowers, brighten up the day. So thanks everyone for joining my scope. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm in Ashiya City in Hyogo Prefecture in Japan. I'll hopefully do some more scopes while I'm here. If you could join me, that would be great. If not, then you can catch up with everything I'm doing on my website, therealjapan.com. So please tune in, have a look, and thanks for being here. Thanks everybody, see you soon, bye. Thanks Water Green, thanks Marjan, you're welcome. Magical Storms, yeah, will do, I'll do my best. Thanks Magical Storms, thanks for tuning in. See you everybody, bye bye, thanks, cheers, thanks for the hearts, thanks, bye.